Like I said, it's not the things you learn in a book. You can pass the test any type of way by reading a book. It's the little things. Like, for example, etiquette classes. You know, you don't necessarily get those in an academic course. Now, some academic courses that offer those, but it's not well known because people don't think about it, they don't talk about it. But through networking, you can kind of find that stuff out. But again, it's like little things that you pick up. And once you understand the power of networking, you can use that to your benefit and be your own biggest critic. Like, for me, for example, I'm definitely gonna watch this video after this just to watch my body language and stuff like that. But at the same time, that was something I had to learn from networking with people who were cognitive of that stuff in the business field. You never read a book in school that told you, well, you need to watch your body language when you're going to work, because that's not necessarily something that they teach. They care about. They want to teach you about managerial accounting, 4 Ps of marketing, or if you're an engineer, electrolytes or whatever y'all learn. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being real. Like, they don't teach you.
If they're a food engineer, then
they don't.
They're gonna learn about.
Yeah, they don't teach you the stuff that you necessarily need to succeed. The soft skills, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what networking
skills
is all about, because it's 100 people out there that's smart, man. Honestly, a lot of the people, I work for Nestle, so like a lot of the people I meet, they smart, but they're not as smart as they probably smarter than me or smarter than a lot of people that I meet. The thing is that keeps them employed is they're personable. They understand the power of using soft skills, and they understand the power of meaningful interactions and how to put that on display and showcase value. So if you can get your point across, through networking and working on yourself, and I mean, even one of my LBs, he took a Toastmaster class or whatever, and that kind of helped him.
What's an LB, if they don't know?
My line brother, so I'm in a fraternity, but he took a Toastmaster class, and that helped him a lot with his speech and stuff like that, and that took him to the next level career wise. That was nothing he never learned in school. That was just through the power of networking and meeting somebody who took a liking to him and said, hey, you should take this class to kind of help you with A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. Now he's working for a big company, and he didn't graduate with a business degree. He graduated with a psychology degree. Now it's like one of those things where, he doing his thing, but he never knew that if he would have just sat around and just said, I'm just gonna go do my coursework today and hang around the same people I knew in high school and not ask questions and not be inquisitive. How you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, man. That's the whole thing with networking too. You can translate that to your social life. What's the point of going to the club if you're gonna stand around? What's the point of going to the club if you're gonna stand around? You know what I mean? Like, if you see a shot, you gotta take it because somebody else gonna take that shot. You feel me? I'm gonna take the shot for you, and I'm gonna laugh at you on the way out of there. But at the end of the day, think about it. Like, you can meet somebody, in a club. That could be your wife. That could be somebody that you can help for business. That could be whatever. But if you just sitting around here like, well, everybody's going to come to me. Everybody's going to do this. Everybody's going to do that.
No.
It's not like that in the real world, man. Like, you really got to get out here and do whatever that you need to do. And once you build up that confidence, that energy comes to you, and you attract all those things. But in order to get where you want to be, you got to do stuff you ain't never done before. So, yes, that means going out to talk to Joe and Bob and Bill on the golf course and asking them about a financial portfolio or the power of term life and using that to invest in your business instead of using your credit. You know what I mean? Because they don't teach us stuff like that. They teach us cash only. Now, if I'm lying, then some of y'all need to check y'all shoe boxes and mattresses real quick. Y'all see the difference of that cash only. You dig? But it's the truth. So network and have meaningful networking.
This next tip that I'm going to say is to be successful and to be social. I'm going to throw out looking into programs that will help you do just that. So I mentioned earlier in the video that Viotis and I met through Magic, and that was a really good program because it really started our friendship, and through us knowing each other just from that 1 week of Magic, we've maintained that since 2009, and it's 2017. Even in my time off from school, I haven't talked about this just yet, but I took a year off from school to get in-state tuition, so that financially school would be a lot more attainable, and a dream of graduating from Michigan State would actually be a possibility.
Right.
So anywho, even in that time off, Vioda's not communicated, and even just through having that network, it's been a great factor into my success as an individual. When Vioda's moved to Chicago, I was a great resource for him to do small things, just like find an apartment, just to connect him with my mom. Like, hey, you know, she's really good at this stuff. Just talk to her. She knows a little bit more about some really good neighborhoods, because I haven't been there, but I'm gonna shoot you this connect, and you know, I'm gonna provide you with that resource. Also through Magic, they helped us learn about different resources that were on campus. So I figured out, hey, if I don't have a printer in my dorm room, don't trip, because they have e-tokens, which was this like, it was like a little online thing. You pay for a certain number of tokens, and you can go to the library or any campus computer and print from wherever you're at. You just have to have e-tokens. It's connected to your student account. So in the event that you were to get like a school refund, or you were to pay money, or just put money on your student account, it would just come straight from there, and you have the convenience of printing anywhere on campus. That program also allowed me to meet people like Eric Thomas. I don't know if you guys know who Eric Thomas is, but he's a really profound motivational speaker. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I used to go to Advantage. Advantage was this program on campus from an organization called The Advantage, and he used to be there. And he would just give us really encouraging words. He would pray for us. He would tell us that, you know, no matter what society tells us, that we're amazing, that we can do anything we set our mind to. And if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link to it below so that you guys can look at him, because Eric Thomas is a really great person. And Graves, I mentioned her before. For those of y'all who went to Michigan State, y'all know Ann Gray was the plug in the financial aid office, okay? Then you could go to the financial aid office and they would tell you like, oh, we can only give you a loan for this, and unfortunately, and then you will go talk to somebody, and I was in the financial aid office, and they would just let you get it all out and be like,
Grace is talking that cash, bro.
Did you go talk to Ann? And so, you know, she was a great resource. I met her there. She was there at my graduation. Like, just learning, looking up resources. Every student, let me be very clear. Every student needs to find out about withdrawal processes at your university. Every student needs to find out about withdrawal processes at your university, because they can be a lifesaver. I wish I had knew about the withdrawal processes, and they're different. So every school is different. I know that Michigan State has one for like academic withdrawal. They have one for like medical withdrawal, because life happens and they get that. So like some students have had situations where they have lost both parents, or have been grieving, and their academics have, you know, took a landslide downward because of it. And in certain situations, you can withdraw completely from the like semester in order to save your transcript, to save your grades, to give you the opportunities for that situation's negative impact on you not to hold you back moving forward. So I would definitely say look up programs on campus, look up resources on campus, look up organizations on campus, and really find out what they do. Know what is available to you, and in finding out those resources, make those connections with upperclassmen, because upperclassmen are the plug. Upperclassmen are the plug. I don't care what nobody say. Connect with your RAs, connect with your OCATs if you have them at your university. Connect with anybody. I don't care if you a freshman and you see a senior in your class, you need to go talk to them. Hey, how you doing? I'm new here and I would like for you to give me some tips. Like, straight up, some people might hit you with the okie doke, like, yeah, I'm finna send you off because you a freshman and you don't know no better. But then there are other people who will genuinely help you out and be like, okay, look, so this is what you need to do. Go talk to this person. They're a really good resource for me. You know, try A, B, and C, and yeah. Finding out resources will help you be social with other people, because other people who don't know will find out from you. And then you keep in contact. And they be like, oh, I found out about this. Did you know about this? No, I found out about this. Let me tell you about this. So our last tip is to Do something right now that your later self will thank you for. Even if it's like talking to professors and maintaining those relationships. Because they eventually, no matter what you do in your life, they will support you. They will make sure that you are okay. I literally just texted one of my professors from college yesterday, and I was like, haven't heard from you in a while. Are you still breathing? You know, when it was time for me to graduate, she came to my graduation. You know, one thing I will still say is squash beefs, because I had an experience where I had a person that I really didn't agree with. Like, I could not stand her. But squashing my beef with her and understanding a little bit more about who she was, because I had a class with her, led her to seeing me at a birthday party and telling me about a job. And that's how I got a job out of college. All because I squashed the beef. So do something right now that your later self will thank you for, that will just be a stepping stone. You can look back and say, man, okay, what else can I do like right now? What you got?
I guess my closing note is, once you find your purpose, your main purpose in life is to give it away. So in order to get gifts in life, you gotta give, man. You can never ask for something that you don't demand of yourself and you don't give to somebody else. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you want to be successful, or are you giving away successful strategies to somebody else? Because how are you ever gonna level up if somebody don't give you the game, because you're not giving away the game? If that makes sense. So when you get a jewel, you don't keep it to yourself. If you find your purpose to help other people, or to be, you know, how she's doing these videos, I guarantee, you know, when she gives this knowledge out to the world, it's going to come back to her tenfold. It's the same thing in college. It's the same thing in work. It's the same thing in every aspect of your life, physically, relationally, financially, spiritually. Like, you give to God, if you take one step towards God, God going to take 2 steps towards you. It's the same thing with, you know, school. So if you take 2 steps towards your professor to say, hey, how you doing? I'm in your class, you know, nice to meet you, whatever. Everybody gonna be looking at you like you're crazy when you sitting there, you know, every single day at the front of the class. But at the same time, once you do that for, 90, 100 days, and you get a letter of recommendation that leads to your interview, that leads to a job, you done already gave away that good energy to your professor to get what you want back. Just off of, hey, how you doing? How you know, just trying to build a genuine relationship and seeing where it's going and not expecting anything from you, indirectly get your blessings. And I guess that's the last thing too. Don't expect nothing.
Don't do stuff.
Yeah, expecting stuff. You know what I mean?
Because that you completely lose sight of everything.
Right. You never get to the end goal doing that. So if you don't believe me, look at a lot of people who are unhappy in their job, or, you know, they in their relationships, or they you know, their finances in shambles, because they giving stuff away with intentions. If I do this, I'm gonna get this back. That's not how it works. People pick up on that energy, and then you get met with negative energy. The only way to get positive stuff is to do stuff not intentionally, but just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. If Jesus Christ gave to his disciples, or the people who gave to his church, to say, yo, I'm gonna do it for these people because they doing for me, they purpose ain't right. So you think about, like, you know, Paul or whatever, his purpose was right. Even when it was bad, he had good intention. He had the intentions to, you know, be pure bad. But when he was pure good, he had a lot of good qualities that you can use, because he did things out of his spirit and not necessarily out of, I'm going to go do this to come up. And people pick up on that, man. You'd be surprised how many people with 3.8s, 3.9s sitting at the crib right now, you know, with a master's degree or a PhD, because
they're doing nothing.
Oh, I got a degree and I'm here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here, you know, I tell you, I graduated with a 2.9, you know, and I worked for one of the biggest companies in the world. You know what I mean? It wasn't because I was sitting around here trying to tell people what I got. I'm trying to give you something that you can use indirectly. You're going to give me something that can benefit me for the rest of my life. And that's the same thing in school. So
that's why we friends.
Give your purpose away. Don't keep it to yourself. And be intentional with your actions. And, hey, man, life goes up.
It does.
Don't let people tell you that when you graduate, college is the end of your life, because it's not.
It's not. But once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in with me. V, it was great having you here. I'm so glad that you dropped the knowledge. With, you know, helping me give these messages to people who are considering going to college, who are already in college. You might be in high school. I hope you're in high school. But please take heed to these tips. If you do all of these things, I know it may seem like a lot to work on, but I guarantee you, even if you just start with one at a time, you will definitely see a difference in your social life. You'll see a difference in your success. You'll see a difference in the things that come to you. And you'll definitely be like, oh, let me put you on. Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe.